In the long-forgotten northern reaches of Middle-earth, nestled among the rugged hills and ancient forests of Eriador, once stood the mighty Kingdom of Arnor. Established by Elendil after the downfall of Númenor, Arnor was a land of kings, ancient bloodlines and noble deeds. Yet, as with all great kingdoms, its days of glory waned, and in the end, only the whispers of its ruin lingered in the shadows of legend. Of all its kings, the final and most tragic was Arvedui, the last king of Arnor. His tale is one of dread and darkness, a story not often told, for it is often shrouded in gloom and haunted by strange omens, curses, and an unforgiving winter. It is the tale that foretold not only the fall of a king, but also the permanent extinguishing of the Northern Kingdom, leaving behind only scattered ruins, broken swords, and tombs where the wind whispers the forgotten names of the dead. By the time of Arvedui's birth, Arnor was no longer the proud and unified kingdom it had once been. After centuries of eternal strife, it had been fractured into 3 lesser realms: Arthedain, Cardolan, and Rhudaur. Of these, only Arthedain remained loyal to the true line of Isildur, and it was here, in the cold and bitter land of the north, that Arvedui was born, the heir to a throne crumbling beneath the weight of history and the shadow of a dark enemy lurking in the east. The Witch King of Angmar, a nameless figure cloaked in black terror, had long sought to bring ruin to the remnants of Arnor. His armies of orcs, trolls, and dark men harried the borders of Arthedain, eroding its strength year by year. With each passing winter, the realm grew weaker, and the whispers in the taverns and mead halls spoke of an inevitable doom. The Witch King's shadow loomed ever closer. When Arvedui was still a young man, a grim prophecy was spoken over him by Malbeth the Seer, the most enigmatic of the northern prophets. Malbeth's eyes, distant and filled with foreboding, fixed on the prince, and in a voice low as the grave he spoke. "Arvedui, last king, if you take the throne, it shall be the last. The north shall be lost, and your house will fade forever into the ice and snow." There was a chill in the air that day, or so it was said, for those who heard the prophecy recoiled, feeling the weight of its ominous words settle on the land like a pall. But prophecies, like ancient trees, are slow to take root, and often their true meaning is not understood until it is far too late. Arvedui, young and hopeful, shrugged off the words, believing that the strength of his people and his bloodline would prevail against whatever doom lay in store. But when the time came for Arvedui to ascend to the throne of Arthedain, the kingdom was already on the brink of collapse. His father, King Arvedui, had fought long and hard against Angmar's encroaching might, but his efforts had only delayed the inevitable. Arvedui, though valiant and wise, took the crown in a time of great peril. The Witch King's armies massed on the borders, and whispers spread that Angmar's Dark Lord sought not only the destruction of Arthedain, but the very extinction of the line of Isildur itself. Arvedui's name, which means last king in the Elvish tongue, was an unsettling reminder of Malbeth's prophecy. Though he tried to rally his people and allies, he could not stop the gathering storm. As the years passed, Arnor's fortunes worsened. One by one, the remaining bastions of Arthedain fell. Cardolan had already been laid to waste, and the Barrow-wights, those eerie spirits bound by dark sorcery, haunted its burial mounds. In the east, Rhudaur had long since become a vassal state of Angmar, and its lands were now ruled by dark and twisted men. It was not long now until the lands of Eriador felt the iron fist of the Dark Lord and his servants. It was in the winter of 1974 of the Third Age when the final blow came. The Witch King unleashed his forces in a brutal assault on Fornost, the capital of Arthedain. Despite the bravery of Arvedui and his warriors, Fornost could not withstand the onslaught. The proud towers of the northern capital were reduced to rubble, and the kingdom's last defences crumbled under the weight of Angmar's dark legions. Arvedui, seeing that all was lost, fled with his small band of loyal men into the north, beyond the frozen wastes, seeking refuge in the ancient land of the Lossoth, the snowmen of Forachel. It was a desolate place, a region of bitter cold, icebound shores, and eerie silences where even the wolves dared not roam too far. Here, Arvedui hoped to escape the Witch King's pursuit and survive until aid could come from Gondor in the south. The Lossoth, strange and reclusive folk, took pity on the fallen king and his companions, offering them shelter in their crude huts of snow and ice. Yet even among these hardy people, there was an unease surrounding Arvedui. They whispered that he carried with him an ill fate, and they feared that his presence would bring ruin upon their land. For weeks, Arvedui and his men endured the brutal cold, huddled together in their icy refuge. His queen, Firiel, the daughter of Ondor, the king of Gondor, had sent word to the southern kingdom, and soon a ship was dispatched to rescue the king from his icy prison. But the journey across the frozen seas was perilous, and as the ship drew near, the Lossoth grew fearful. They warned Arvedui not to trust the sea, for the ice of Forachel was treacherous, and dark spirits lingered in the northern winds. Ignoring their warnings, Arvedui boarded the ship, along with his men and the Palantiri, the ancient seeing stones of Arnor. As the ship began its return voyage, a great storm arose, summoned, it is said, by the dark powers of Angmar. The ice floes, thick and jagged, closed in around the vessel, and with a thunderous crack, the ship was crushed beneath the weight of the frozen sea. Arvedui, the last king of Arnor, was lost to the depths, along with the Palantiri and the ancient relics of his kingdom. When the ship failed to return, hope died in the hearts of the people of the north. Gondor's aid had come too late, and with the loss of Arvedui, the line of kings in Arnor was broken. Malbeth's prophecy had been fulfilled. Arnor, the once great kingdom of the north, was now no more. Fornost, the city of kings, lay in ruin, haunted by the ghosts of its past. The Witch King's victory was now complete, though he himself would not long enjoy it. The following year, the forces of Gondor and the elves, led by Eomer, arrived and drove Angmar's armies back into the Battle of Fornost. The Witch King fled into the east, biding his time until he would rise again in the south as the Lord of the Nazgul. But for Arnor, the defeat was final. Its people were scattered, its cities were deserted, and its lands became wild and empty, where few now dared to tread. In the north, only the Rangers remained, grim and secretive wanderers, the remnants of the Dunedain who kept alive the memory of the lost kingdom. The story of Arvedui, the last king, is more than a tale of defeat. It is a tale of cold, relentless doom. The prophecy that haunted his reign was not just a foretelling of events, but a curse that hung over the remnants of Númenor's northern heritage. In the icy wastes of Forachel, where the cold wind howls over the desolate seas, it is said that the spirit of the last king still lingers, wandering among the frozen shores, forever searching for the lost Palantiri and the memory of the kingdom he could not save.